Shall we switch the places?
We can switch the places.
Hello! We are
Annie and Konstantin.
and you're watching another episode of
Updates.
With a Farting Ball. So what did we do today, and yesterday, and the day before yesterday?
Many, many things. I think first of all it is important to note that after weeks, months of struggling, I have finished all of my university work for this semester and am currently enjoying a 2-day period of summer break. Yeah! Beyond that, things are progressing nicely because, well, I function again. I am human again, and I can think and I can do things, and I'm going to employ all of that on doing all of the things for the Depression and Anxiety Life Hacks, and as such, support and assist with Konstantin's master's thesis.
Which is in dire need of support and assistance. Because the time is clicking.
Kinda like it, the time is clicking.
And there's less than a month to go till my master's thesis is due.
What the boy is not telling you is that he's already read just about everything that's ever been written about crowdfunding, and generally just knows a lot of stuff, and is freaking out without really needing to. He'll be fine. He's gonna be fine.
Yeah, I probably will look back at these videos after the publishing and be like, why was I worried? Or I'll be like, yeah, you damn should have been worried, and instead of making videos you should have been writing. Okay, besides that, survey?
Yes, I am currently working on setting up the survey for the Depression and Anxiety Life Hack crowdfunding reality, which we're going to need all of your input on. It'll be a survey. It'll be fun. It'll have questions. You should fill it out because it would really help us out and make me happy, and I'm working really hard on making it not a boring, dry, annoying survey, but one where you're like, oh, I like these people, because we kind of want you to like us, because we're likable, and because we like you.
So last week I talked a little bit about crowdfunding and how it didn't change the world yet. And I've been pondering the subject a little bit longer, putting it into the context of socio-cultural phenomenons that came into being from a subculture, like for instance hip-hop or electronic music. They started out as an underground thing. Hip-hop started as a way of suppressed culture to express itself with a very empowering and very positive message. And the core values are still there, but if you look at the hip-hop mainstream culture, it's not very empowering. Ani DiFranco said it very nicely. A record started out as a record of an event of people making music, and now it's all about drugs and guns and shoes, to paraphrase her. A different development is YouTube, which started out as this weird platform where all these weird people have been uploading videos and sharing their lives. And there has been this little underground community, which is still there, but it has changed a lot. And if you look at Germany and YouTube culture in Germany, it's just not very good. It's trite for most parts and very sexist. Boys do pranks and play video games, and girls show you how to put on makeup, which is not very empowering. The very beginning of the modern day crowdfunding started out as a means to support artists to record music. Artists that weren't unable to attract large record labels, but who still wanted to make music and were still convinced that their art can reach people. So this was the beginning of modern day crowdfunding. And there's still a lot of that in the crowdfunding today. You don't have this massive focus of the mass media on crowdfunding. I think it will come. Because if you think about it, you have a lot of the Matthew effect, where people who have already a community, they have way larger chances of success, and it's way easier for you to build upon that. So it has the potential of creating new monopoles and modules. But it isn't there yet. It isn't where mainstream hip-hop is, and it isn't where mainstream YouTube is yet. And I'm not sure if it will have the same development, because there is a crucial difference between crowdfunding and all these other things, because they represent a lifestyle, if you will, and crowdfunding itself is a way of finance things. But from a different perspective, they're all parts of a culture. So I'm not sure where this is going and how it will develop, but I think that's my epiphany, is that there are a lot of ways it can develop, but now it's like the best time to start using it and utilizing it and working with it, because now it's still young and fresh and utilizable. It's not rock solid yet. It still has potential to develop, and you still have the possibility to be a part of that development and profit from this niche factor, which can be very empowering. This is my epiphany.
So you may have noticed that every now and again I tend to abuse epiphanies as kind of a therapy tool. I think that's acceptable, and we're going to continue on that trend today, because I've been a struggle bus lately, and it occurred to me that in dealing with my less than perfect brain chemistry, I have kind of progressed through several ways of approaching struggling and dealing with it. And I think the most basic, most immediate one is to fight it, is to be like, no, stop it, you! Which then makes you enter a battle with yourself, which is at once hilarious and really terrible and self-destructive, and not at all effective. Then at some point I think you hit the point of just giving in. It's like the play dead. It's like the I'm just gonna hide under this blanket until you go away strategy, which is better than fighting yourself, but also not very productive. And then I think more recently I've come into, the whole self-love and taking care of myself thing, which I think turned into kind of pleading with the brain weasels. It's a matter of, please accept my humble offerings of naps and tea and go away, just leave me alone. And that works a lot better, and that has helped, but it's also turned it into a matter of whenever I'm not struggling, I'm preparing for the next struggle. And then, trying to set up structures to avoid it, but mostly just preparing for feeling bad again, which is a whole lot better than fighting yourself, and a whole lot better than hiding and hoping it goes away, but it's still kind of a very negative approach, because you're still just focused on the struggle. So this new thing I'm trying right now is, again, the self-love, but from the positive angle. So rather than prepare for the struggle, I'm accepting the fact that struggle will likely come, and I have prepared plenty, and I kind of know how to deal with it, but mostly I'm just deciding not to struggle again. My current approach with, dealing with the brain weasels is no. I love you. You're cute. Sit down. Let's do other things. And that is working really well for me right now, and it's really enjoyable to have that hubris, but in a confident and actually sort of realistic sort of way. And it's nice because it's a progression, because I don't think that is something that I would have been able to do a year ago, let alone 2 years ago. That is not something that I had the strength and the calmness to do. So I'm really enjoying right now the way coping strategies change throughout the healing process. And I think that is absolutely true for mental illness things, but I think it's probably also true with coping with just about anything. Your strategies change as you progress through it, because you're able to do different things, and you're able to attack it in a different way, and to approach yourself in a different way. And throughout the entire process, you get closer to yourself. You accept and embrace yourself as a whole, complex, obnoxious thing that is so far from perfect, but that's okay, because shut up with the dumb, stupid thoughts. I love you, let's do cooler things. So that's where I'm at right now. And it's nice. So we're gonna see where that goes, and I'll let you know when I hit the next stage of, whatever that's gonna be.
Here's the thing. Ooh, that was close. So we're celebrating my birthday.
With sparklers out the window. Because we're really classy. And also because you don't like flowers. So you get sparklers.
That's true.
Those are the rules.
I also got cake. It was a delicious cake.
I don't know that you get to mention cake without showing cake. People are going to complain again.
I'm the birthday man, and I decide that I will mention cake without showing it. And if someone has a problem with that, they have to write in the comments.
Are you saying I need to bake a cake again next week?
If we have comments of people demanding it. So people, you know your job.